Hello and welcome to episode 52 of Dial Your Heroclix. I am your host, Hunter Smith, and I know we had promised that we would be doing our 1-year anniversary video special today, but things change. In fact, I may even just call this episode 51.5 because it's just going to be a quick update. We planned on doing the full anniversary episode this week, but it is 4th of July, as of course everybody knows. At least those of you guys in the United States actually care about 4th of July. I know some of our overseas listeners don't care as much, but we're out celebrating this weekend, last night and tonight. Today is Saturday, the day after the 4th, but some people still do things tonight too, parties and stuff. So Austin and Drew will be gone tonight because of 4th of July stuff, so I decided, well, we'll just push back our anniversary episode until next week so that we can have the whole crew here and do it all on video and everything like we were talking about. So today I will just really quickly be covering the tiny bit of news that we have. Basically, there's actually no official news from WizKids, but I have some other small things that we can talk about real quick. And then I want to go over our community section and give you guys updates on the things that are going on there. And then next week, we'll be back with our full episode. Next week's main topic that you can look forward to is we're going to break down the changes in the metagame with the recent meta shift of rotation for Modern Age. And we're going to talk about the main pieces that are leaving. What can possibly replace them in the metagame? Is there a similar piece or tactic that helps those type of teams? Are there certain theme teams that just took too big of hits with the Modern Age rotation to really be viable now? Are there new ones that we need to watch out for? So we're going to be just kind of talking about that in general, giving you guys an idea. If you lost some of your pieces that you love to play, here are some pieces that maybe you could use as a replacement. So that's what you got to look forward to next week, as well as talking about Original Sin comics. As far as the news section today, really all I have to say is that, number one, you can find, if you look hard enough, some of the retailer stores, not the comic book stores, but some of the like Target stores and the mass market figures for Guardians of the Galaxy can now be found at certain stores. I know around here we have like 3 local Targets. Only one of them has Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the movie set, of course. The other 2 do not. So if you're really, really looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy and you want to get it as soon as possible, you may want to run to your local Target. See if they have got them out on the shelves yet. Some of them do. As far as the figures that we've seen from the set, I've seen, I know there's a Chase Rocket Raccoon and a Chase Star-Lord. One of them will be mass market and one of them will be comic book hobby stores. I know there's a Ronin the Accuser who looks really cool. And there's a lot of Nova Corps things, surprisingly. So that tells us that the Nova Corps is going to be involved with the movie in some aspect. There's also some a couple different types of generics. And then Drax, Groot, and Gamora, I believe I've seen all of them in it as well, of course, since those are the ones that are in the movie. Then also Guardians of the Galaxy, but not the movie set, the comic book set. Some people have began to spoil dials for the Guardians of the Galaxy main set, or comic book set, but for the Gravity feed, which comes out 2 or 3 weeks before the main set. And so far I've seen Nova, Gamora, Drax, Chitauri generic, Space Knight generic. Those were from the recent Infinity event, if you guys don't remember. A Badoon generic, Kree Major generic soldier guy, a new Captain America in her new suit with the blue and the red and the yellow. This is the first time we get a sculpt like that. Another new Ronin. This one plays totally different than the one in the movie set, though. Star-Lord, and that's all I see so far. One thing I will say, off to the side, that's really pissing me off, is that this Gamora and the one that I've seen in the movie set, their cards do not have the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword, and that's everybody knows. I mean, if you are a Guardians fan and you try to play them a lot, you already probably complain about the fact that the Gamoras don't have Guardians of the Galaxy keyword. There are 2 excellent Gamoras that have already been made, and neither one of them has it, and now we have 2 new ones so far, and neither one of them has it. So I guess you're just holding out hope that the main set one will hopefully have the correct keyword, because that's going to be our last shot at getting the keyword on Gamora. And it doesn't even make any sense. Why would with her being one of the main characters in the new series, why they wouldn't give her the keyword? I gotta hope and keep my fingers crossed that they will. But anyway, sorry for that aside. And then there is also a couple other things I want to mention. One is that WizKids sent out an email saying, just officially, this has been kind of, everybody's kind of been talking about this recently, but they sent out an official thing saying, we've recently made a change to the process for submitting rules inquiries for Heroclix. For all Heroclix rules, please email heroclixrules@necaonline.com. This is a change from the previously used Gmail address, and email sent to the address above will be responded to directly via email. So no longer do you post on HC Realms and have the Orange Rules Arbiters answer your questions. You just send them in email form to this place, and then they answer your questions directly. I'm not sure how that is faster, because I gotta imagine you'd be getting the same questions over and over and over if you did it like that. But I assume they're trying out some new system, and we'll keep our eyes open and see how that works out for them. Hopefully they find some way to streamline things. And another announcement, which may not affect all of you guys, but for those of you who are in the area and plan on going to Gen Con, or even plan on traveling, from really far away, those of you who are big into competitive tournaments and are going to compete in Worlds, don't forget that HC Realms has a Gen Con member appreciation dinner every year. And if you guys aren't familiar with this, they have a dinner at the Old Spaghetti Factory, which is a good restaurant, and it's right beside the Gen Con, right beside the convention center. And basically everything is free. I think you pay for your drinks and your dessert, but your actual food is free. And they also give out door prizes. They have speakers. Sometimes they have people from WizKids come and talk and do Q&As and stuff. So for those of you who are going to be in the area, this takes place on Thursday, August 14th at 7:30 p.m. Be sure to sign up for this. Sign-ups are right now. They run from July 1st to July 15th. So go to HC Realms on the main page and find the link to the Gen Con dinner. If you're going to be in the area, I suggest going. I know us three are definitely going to be trying to go. We've already signed up. But the only reason we didn't go last year is because we had a tournament at that time, but this year none of us have a tournament that day. So we'll definitely be there if you guys want to come meet us. And as far as meeting us at Gen Con, I think Drew and Austin will be there all 4 days. I have to work, so I'll only be there on Saturday. But we are going to try to get some Dial H for HeroClix t-shirts made up and maybe even sold. But we'll talk more about that once I have more details and I have things in hand. We also are going to try to get a stamp for the Value Corner where you guys can bring your cards that Drew has talked about, and I'll give you guys a list before Gen Con of all the ones that we've done for Value Corner. If you guys want to have the value stamp put on your HeroClix cards for fun, you can feel free to bring those to Gen Con with you if you find us and have Drew stamp them for you. So that's something to look forward to. But yeah, if you're going to be in the area, definitely go to the spaghetti dinner. It's a great opportunity. You get to meet lots of cool guys and some, maybe put some faces to some names that you've seen online a lot. Then quickly, community. Dial Design started again this week for July. If you are listening to this on Saturday, you still have time if you have not yet posted your dial, because submissions, today is the last day for submissions. And we have a lot. I already have like 5 pages of submissions this month, and usually we do not get that many, so be sure to get your submissions in quick. It looks like it's going to be a competitive month. The assignment was just to design a dial for a generic figure, which is a character with no real name, with the monster keyword. That's pretty much it. And this month's theme, I think I'm going to go with generic figure. So I'll shoot out different keywords, and everybody will make different figures. And the cool thing about this month is your source material doesn't have to be from comics necessarily. It doesn't have to be Marvel or DC. It can be Marvel, DC, any comics brand. It can be video games. It can be from a book, a popular book that people are familiar with. It can be anything. So, I mean, I know I saw a Balrog type of submission, and then kind of different random, like generic vampire or werewolf things. Like people want to do a different take on werewolves. I saw one from the Resident Evil 4 game. So anything that would have the monster keyword and it's a generic figure is free to submit. So like I said, if you're listening to this today, you still have time if you get on it. So make sure you do that. Best build. You still have about 3 or 4 more days to submit to our best build. And the build is, let me pull it up here. While I'm pulling it up, I just want to quickly say, guys, make sure you give us submissions that actually are feasible to build. And I say that because for this one, here's the build rules. Build a 600-point Golden Age team. You must have at least 1 vehicle on your force. Figures, ATAs, and relics are allowed. Resources are not. And that's okay because, as you guys know, resources are not allowed to be assigned to vehicles anyways. That's pretty much it. So that's pretty easy to build a team for. Just build a 600-point Golden Age team that just has ATAs and relics only, nothing else, and has at least 1 vehicle. But what I was saying is make sure you build a team that's feasible. Like some of you guys' submissions have been like 6 bat cycles, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Like, how am I supposed to get a hold of 6 bat cycles? I have 1, and I'm sure I could borrow 1 or 2 more, but I can't borrow 6. So just make sure, make sure you build a team that's more likely to be able to be built, and that will slightly increase your chances of it being picked, and then therefore you being the winner. So that's all I have to say about that. So if you guys have not yet submitted, build a team that meets those requirements. Send it to dialh4heroclix@gmail.com. And then we have some listener emails. I'm going to save those for next week so that the guys can answer them too. But I will just tease it by saying, if you guys listened to last week's episode and heard us talk about how we have no listeners in Japan, I'll just say that we were definitely wrong. And we'll save those emails for next week. So that's going to be it. I know it's short and sweet. I apologize. If I would have known that I was going to be by myself today, I would have gotten a guest ahead of time and we would have done a whole topic and everything. But this was kind of short notice. But we all kind of needed a partial break because of the holiday and because we have went a whole year without missing a single week of the podcast. So this will be 51.5. And then next week we'll come back with the full anniversary edition, all in video. So I'll still be recording it. It'll still be on iTunes and everything, but if you want to see the whole thing on video, you can check out YouTube, and I'll actually be recording this next one. And we have a couple small little special things to add to that too. So be sure to follow us on Twitter and on Facebook, Dial H for Heroclix, and submit any questions or best build submissions to dialh4heroclix@gmail.com. We'll see you back next week with our special anniversary episode.